These are not God's people. That's the fallacy that was made up. If you find it anywhere, it says that God favored Israel, Jacob a person, not a land. God banished the Hebrew people. Who are you to decide that? Yeah, I mean, I've heard this propaganda too. Okay, am I saying that it is not my such a waste of time? You know what? You said in another comment, it's a waste of your time to educate me. Yeah, it's a waste of my time to educate you, or to educate you on having common sense. Am I saying that all the Jews are chosen? No, actually, it has nothing to do with their ethnicity, does it? I mean, that's the greatness of the Bible, really. That's why the greatness of the Bible and the greatness of God is how He will take this mindset and toss it into the dumpster and say, "Yep, not getting it, not getting it, not getting it." Everybody thinks it's about the God's people. No, God's people. It has nothing to do with their genetics. Nothing to do with their genetics. But that's what this world wants to make it all about. It has nothing to do with that. We put Jews in Israel, yes, because of the Bible. And you want to say, no, Israel's talking about Jacob. Okay, well, I disagree. But it doesn't matter. Let's, even if you want to just take the whole, because I've seen this argument that, oh, Israel's talking about Jacob. Okay, I mean, like, this is literally how the devil twists stuff. What is wrong with saying in 1947 these people that have lived through this, their tribe, their group of people, their family members have been slaughtered and genocide. They have nowhere to go. And yeah, most of them came to America. And yes, we put some there in Israel. How you have to be a heartless psychopath to be so upset about that you have to manipulate children to strap bombs onto themselves and go and blow Arabs up. And that's not the Jews in Israel doing it. The Bible warns that people are going to try to get others to hate the Jews. God doesn't want anybody hating anybody, first of all. But this idea that they're not God's people and that's the fallacy, I think that's God's decision, isn't it? We put them there because the atrocity that happened in the Holocaust, that I don't think most people anymore realize the amount of atrocity that went on. This wasn't just shooting people. This was, I mean, the worst experiments done, the most horrendous things that most people can't imagine that humans would be capable of doing. So to try to pave a way for not just peace, but to do something out of the goodness of people's hearts, giving a small piece of land there, has now turned in to the most biggest propaganda bullshit ever. Like, people couldn't just be like, yes, of course, please come, please, we'll no, everybody had to hate it. The same mindset of the people that hated. I mean, this is why the anti-Semitism stuff is really dangerous, because, and I don't know if it's just, it gets people out of control it gets people acting crazy. It gets people following stuff that it doesn't jive, doesn't make sense. And it gets people riled up to the point where it leads to what happened in Germany. I see it all the time. I see it happening now. When you see Ian Carroll, or you see Candace Owens or Rogan, or these people that want to continually bring everything that goes back to this blaming at one group of people, they are doing that because they want to rile people up. They're no different than the SS during the Germany days. They aren't. They're just continuing what they were doing. And they were doing, going back to what Pharaoh was doing. It is the repeating story over and over again. And I think that in many ways, having Israel there, here's where my head would be, as if I was in one of the surrounding countries. Is I would have been, of course, we should welcome that. But what I've seen through the years is a bunch of Arab countries that are heartless. Really spineless. Because what it is most of their people hate the Jews too. Because everybody's been propagandized by it. I mean, Goldamir's right. Everybody else is allowed to self-determine except them. And do people take advantage of that? Are there Jews that are full of themselves and snobby and cocky? Yeah. But maybe maybe part of that is because of what their group has been through. So it's not up to me to decide who is God's chosen people. I just hope that I get to be one. I mean, I don't mean a chosen person, but that I just hope that I've at least done okay enough to where I haven't damned myself. Really. Because everybody here, nobody here currently living on this planet really could say that they're, are you sure? Are you sure? I mean, everybody says, oh, you're saved if you... Yeah, but the heart has to change. Do you see a lot of people's hearts changing? No. The same bullshit that's gone on since forever is still gone on. So, the heart has to change in order to be one of God's chosen people, or be... I don't want to say in with God, but to be accepted by God. There's a bunch of Jews that are not accepted, that still act like Pharisees. Okay, but you can't label everybody there in Israel as that. I don't see them. I see them more. These cocky ones with their snobby ones. A lot of them are here in America, but they're all over. But they refuse to accept the New Testament, and they think that they're special enough that God's not, and that will be issue with God. Again, who did Jesus go to? He didn't go to these experts. He didn't go to these people that were all snobby. He went to the people that everybody least expected. It'd be the same thing. So, people can believe this and keep going down this track, and if you think that you're going to, that God will favor this, well, God help you.